And introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Will.
I'm Ari.
I'm Lauren. I'm Sharon.
Right, so in our presentation we're going to go through, we've got a short video clip to show you guys that kind of explain the handout that you should all have. Then we're going to go into like an introduction of what is actually going on, the basics behind it. Then we're going to talk specifically about Adidas and like what they've done in this scandal, how the news and media portrayed it, people affected, how we feel about the scandal in whole. Then we'll take any questions you have.
Now to that scandal involving college basketball, 10 men, including 4 assistant coaches at top-tier programs arrested on corruption charges. ABC Lizzie Davis is here with the story, and Lizzie, seems like they were playing a game off the court.
You're exactly right. Good morning to you, Michael. This extensive FBI investigation might as well be right out of a movie. Wiretaps, undercover agents, and informants, all leading to allegations of dirty recruiting tactics and the biggest scandal to rock the amateur sports arena in recent history.
This morning, the NCAA rocked by what the FBI is calling a massive corruption scheme, uncovering the dark side of hoop dreams.
Managers and financial advisors circling blue chip prospects like coyotes.
At least 10 people, 4 assistant coaches at some of the country's elite Division I programs among them, now face federal bribery, fraud, and corruption charges.
Coaches at some of the nation's top programs soliciting and accepting cash bribes.
The FBI says its 2-year investigation revealed college coaches taking cash bribes up to $100,000 in exchange for steering NBA-bound athletes towards specific financial advisors and sports agents. According to one of the complaints, a sports agency recruiter was secretly recorded saying, "If we take care of everybody, we control everything. You can make millions off one kid." One of the schools being investigated, Powerhouse Boulevard. The program, led by head coach Rick Pitino, is already on NCAA probation for a scandal involving escorts hired to woo recruits. The school released a statement saying that any violations will not be tolerated and that it will cooperate fully with the investigation. Sportswear giant Adidas is also caught up in the scandal. The global head of sports marketing for basketball for the company, James Gatto, accused of bribing families of high school recruits to get them to commit to colleges where Adidas was a sponsor. Gatto is seen here in an interview with Draft Express talking about molding the next generation of NBA players.
Well, for us, it's building relationships with the younger generation and also to show them what it takes to get to this level.
Experts say this is only the tip of the iceberg.
Beneath that March Madness veneer is this dark underbelly of men's college basketball. Where do these schools draw the line?
The NCAA president issued a statement essentially calling out the accused as being out of bounds, saying these bribery allegations, if true, suggest an extraordinary and despicable breach of trust. President.
Alright, so just a little bit of background besides what the video introduced. So this was a 2-year scandal that the FBI basically brought to the public on September 26, 2017. So the original charges were against 10 people. 3 were actually just arrested, I think it was October 25th. And then it was players were being paid under the table. They were basically bribing them to choose certain sponsors, and Adidas was the main sponsor for these basketball players. There were 3 specifically. But the schools that were caught and involved in this whole scandal was Louisville, NC State, Kansas, and Miami. And as you can see, they're all Adidas sponsored universities. So the coaches, there were assistant coaches, business managers, financial advisors, and Adidas employees that were all caught. All their names are currently in the, what is going on. And the athletes were influenced by their coaches, the assistant coaches, and then their financial advisors. So Adidas, like I said, was the main company to sponsor these individuals. They wanted after the players went pro, they wanted to, sponsor them and sign them. And the two former Adidas employees and upcoming coaches, already were contacted by the October 24th.
So the three players that Adidas went after mainly were Dennis Smith Jr., Brian Bowen, and Nassar Little. And Nassar Little actually committed to UNC, and they're sponsored by Jordan. And so he's out of the picture, but he was in the picture because Miami is also a powerhouse for basketball, and they were trying to get him bigger. And then James Gatto, Mayo Code, and Chris Dawkins were all caught on wire fraud, talking. I think in Dennis Smith's case, if you look at the chart, he only committed to NC State because he was bribed, or not bribed. They gave him $40,000. He wanted to decommit and go somewhere else, but I think it was Gatto that was caught in the wire fraud that paid his father, which was parent one in the whole chart, and to stay at the school. And then if you go back in the other picture, Brian Bowen was paid $100,000 for his commitment to Louisville. And Louisville has always been a powerhouse school of basketball, but he's actually suspended, and he hasn't played since the FBI vote. And Rick Pitino was the only coach in this whole scandal that lost his job.
Okay, so now on to the news impact. So this is a terrible reputation for the NCAA and coaches for schools affected, because this is a really big situation. This is a violation of a lot of NCAA rules and laws that they have. Adidas will take a reputation hit as their employees are also found guilty of fraud. So, of course, Adidas is not the only brand that sponsors only basketball. They sponsor other sports such as tennis, football, all that. So, of course, those other teams will be affected because of Adidas' role in this situation. This is a big situation in college basketball, so lots of news stories published by many news organizations. This was in countless different articles. We couldn't pinpoint just one article. There were different newspapers, videos, all that.
Alright, so the people who were mainly affected by this, first off, Adidas. They've already had 2 employees fired. They're taking a huge reputation hit. People are looking at them with a bit of scorn right now, how they're sponsoring athletes and stuff. The issue they've got is, because they're such a big company, something like this could really negatively affect them in the future. According to the New York Times, the scandal eventually may lead to the end of the NBA's one and done rule. So the NBA has a rule that means, like, I think you have to take 1 year in university in order to be a pro basketball. I'm not very into basketball, but I believe that's how it works. And they're saying that this scandal could just get rid of that rule entirely, because the NBA announced a new program in its development league designed to encourage the best would-be freshmen to skip college and instead enter the G League and train for a year while receiving a $125,000 salary. So they're trying to persuade kids to, instead of committing to university, commit to basketball like sooner and just train for a year instead of like actually doing anything. And that could actually really negatively affect like the NCAA and college sports in general. Then you've also just got like basketball as a whole. Like this entire scandal has put a lot of negative press on coaches, certain colleges, basketball. It's just really, really bad. People ask you, so what is the NCAA going to do now? Like they're still kind of struggling with the scandal, but like I said earlier, they may get rid of some rules, they may get some rule changes in, but that's still like undecided for now. But according to the NCAA website, attendance in games in 2018 is actually higher than in 2017. So despite all the negative press they're getting, there's still like people are still attending games, they're still making lots of money. It hasn't appeared to affect them too much.
Okay, team opinion, we all agree that the money funneling was wrong. Of course, these are violation of laws, and violation of laws have punishments. The schools, coaches, and Adidas should be responsible more so on Adidas, because Adidas is the one who gave the coaches the money to give to, or they're the one who put the idea in their head to give these players the money and the bribes. Coaches and teams might continue to pay players under the table until they get caught. Not Adidas or other sporting brands, of course. Adidas already took this big hit, so they're not gonna do anything dumb and kind of silly like this again. But you might find coaches still doing it because it's kind of more low key. I'd say if it's just a coach instead of a huge sporting brand. I skipped this third bullet. Attendance at NCAA games will continue to increase. Like Will said, yes, this is a really big scandal for NCAA, but at the end of the day, I know we're all fans of basketball or some type of sport, and we don't really care about these we don't necessarily care about these internal issues. We just care about supporting our team and seeing them win at the end of the day. Questions?
Sorry. Why is Adidas still allowed to sponsor college teams after the FBI case?
Because they released a statement and they actually released, or they fired like 3 people, and like they're such a large sport, sponsored sporting firm. I mean, you can't just take them out from the NCAA, and they released statements saying that they're gonna rebuild their relationship with the NCAA. So I don't know. That's as far as that goes.
Are any other brands guilty of doing the same thing Adidas did?
We didn't find anything really necessarily saying that other brands were responsible for the money funneling, but we did see where they talked about different coaches from different schools were doing the same thing.
Has the investigation helped to stop cheating?
That's like a point you raised earlier. It's kind of like coaches are going to kind of keep doing it like under the table because they want the best kids. They're going to keep going until they get caught. Like when you get caught, obviously you get all these repercussions, but if you're not being caught, your team's still winning, you have the best players. So they kind of think that coaches are still going to do it until they get caught.
Why did Adidas specifically go after those two players?
So I don't know if anybody knows any of these players, but I actually saw Dennis Smith play when he was in high school, and he just like had no business playing in high school. He looked like an NBA player, but they were smart about it, and they basically chose the kids that would make them the most money, like in the future, like next LeBron type kids. So Dennis Smith has a label like that, and he actually chose to sign with Under Armour when he went to the NBA. And actually, Adidas invested over $140,000 in these kids, and they lost all of it because the other kid, Brian Bowen, is playing at Louisville, is indefinitely suspended, so you won't see the award this year. So, and I think he's a junior or sophomore, so I guess the NBA rank would be at
Great. Did we get all 4 questions? Great, thank you. Okay, why don't you guys stay down here and fill out your one form for the team. You got so you're gonna fill out one form for your whole team.
Do it.
I'll pull it, Sharon. There's only 4 of you. This is not 4 of you, right? So take 4 or 5 minutes. Just sit down and start so you've got your, you want to see what the form looks like. Goes against the rubric. So I'm interested in how you feel that you performed.
Would you like to put